In this video, we're going to go through the development card strategy for Catan so that you can win your next game. First part in this strategy is placement. Now this is a development card strategy, so you're going to need wheat, sheep, and ore. And these three resources are what you're going to use throughout the game to get development cards. So we're going to, when you're looking at your first placement, try and find a location that is good for that. So for example, we've got ore, wheat, sheep, ore, sheep, and wheat right here. So we have all three resources in two intersections. That is phenomenal. We have really strong ore here and strong wheat here, really strong sheep here. So let's narrow down what's most important. Well, you've got 4 wheat opportunities, 4 sheep opportunities, but you only have 3 ore opportunities, so it's probably a good idea to make sure your first placement is on an ore. And if you're lucky enough to go first with your placement, you're probably going to be looking at either this place or this spot. Based on the strength of the likelihood of being rolled, this is probably the best location. So I'm going to go ahead and place my settlement there. And as for roads, a lot of times I try to go for ports, a 3-for-1. But because this location is so good and there's so much wheat and sheep opportunities, I'm going to place my road here. Now, if one of my opponents decides to place their piece here, that's fine because I can put another road here and get on to one of these locations for more wheat and more sheep. And then you've got this piece over here. This is a great number, but there's only the 1 resource and we already have access to 3 resources here. They aren't the best, likelihood of getting sheep off of a 3 is pretty slim, same with 11. 10 is usually okay. So it might be, if later on the game you're noticing that you're not getting enough sheep, it might be worth to build your way over here. Which brings me to your second settlement. Your second settlement, you can place where, remember we're prioritizing ore and wheat, is these 2 are right here, are really good, or you could go right here. The reason I'm liking this spot is because if I need to later in the game, I can easily work my way to this 8 for this sheep if needed. So I would probably place my second piece right here or place it right here. And let's look at how you rule them out. Well, right now I'm on an 8, 10, and 5. And you try to diversify the numbers that you're on. So if I went here, I'd be on 8, 4, and 3, which I already have an 8. I'd be double on wheat, only 1 opportunity for wheat. Whereas right here is a 6 and 9. I don't have a 6 and 9 available. So those are 2 new possibilities for ore. Notice how there's a port, a 2-for-1 right here. If I'm on a 6 and a 5 for ore, I'm probably going to get a lot of ore. So I might even decide to place my settlement here because I still get the 6 and 9. And yes, I get a 2, and yes, I'm a little bit further away from this sheep. But what I can do is I can place my first road here and do another road here later on in the game and get a second settlement on the ore as well as take advantage of that port. So that is your placement. The placement is just making sure that you are on the resources that you need to complete the strategy. So now that you're on your first settlements, you can pick up wheat or sheep and or wheat and wood. And when it's your turn, you already have a development card, and because it's early in the game, you can probably trade this wood for a sheep if someone has one. So it's a really good start to the game, getting you, let's just roll to be more realistic. So 8, we get another wheat. There should be, and the 8's right there. So on your turn, you can turn in your sheep or wheat and get a development card. Year of Plenty. Take any 2 resources from the bank, add them to your hand. They can be 2 of the same resources or 2 of different ones. This is an awesome card to start off with because you want to be ranking up your resources. But let's say that I was able to trade this to one of my teammates for sheep. I'm just gonna place, then you'd get another resource card and you've got the start of your army, which remember, army is only 2 victory points. Now, a pro of this strategy of focusing on getting development cards is as you're getting development cards, there are 5 victory points in this deck, plus you've got the largest army, so you have the opportunity to make 7 points just from going after development cards. Now honestly, the likelihood of you getting all 5 victory points is pretty slim, but you're probably going to get at least a victory point, and not to mention all of the knights that you might get. You can steal resources from your teammates, making it harder for them to complete their goals, and thus you're more likely to win. And there are also other resources in here like road building. Place 2 new roads as if you just built them. That's exactly what I was just talking about with being able to build 1 road here. You didn't even have to use your own resources for it. So now you've set yourself up for 2 new settlements, and you didn't even spend you didn't spend a wood and brick. So if you have wood and brick in your hand, you can just hold on to it. In addition, you've got cards like this Monopoly, which you can take all of the resources of one type from all your players. And so there's a lot of value in these cards. Year of Plenty, take any 2 resources from the deck. Say you're ready to build that next settlement, but you're not on any brick. Instead of trading away all your good stuff, you've got a Year of Plenty you can take 2 brick from. You can take a brick and a wood from the pile to build that settlement. So you've got lots of opportunities with victory cards. Another pro of this is you're open to do pretty much anything you want while you're doing development cards. If you like building roads, you can build a bunch of roads with whatever leftover resources you have if you're able to be on a wood and brick. If you like upgrading to cities, this is perfect for that because actually getting victory points and the largest army is not going to take you all the way, but you already have a lot of ore and wheat, so it's pretty easy for you to upgrade to those cities. And by upgrading to the cities, you've got 8 points right here, plus the largest army, because you have all of those resources that are giving you knights. So it's a pretty easy way to win because you're already using the resources of the 3 resources that you're focusing on. Con, however, is if another player is doing a similar strategy, you're probably going to be competing for the largest army, which can be frustrating because you did all the work to be on these resources. Usually though, there's not enough resources for both of you to be successful at the development card game. So as long as you are the one on the prime real estate and you're focused on your strategy, you're probably going to beat them out. But again, competition is competition, makes it a little bit more difficult. You can also get cards that you don't need. If you already have 4 cities, you really don't need any roads or plentiful resources or anything like that. And so you may get cards that you don't need, but a lot of people are like, oh, I don't need knights, no one else is going after the largest army. Well, you're still able to steal resources from your opponents, and so that's beneficial to your game because they're not able to accomplish their goals. Another con is ore is one of the most difficult resources to get, and if you think that you're on a good spot for ore, but you're just not getting ore, you need to pivot away to a different strategy because you need ore to accomplish this strategy. Or figure out how to get in a place where you can get that ore. So when should you use this strategy? Really, if you have anything where you have all 3 in one place and they're decent numbers for rolling numbers, then this is a great strategy, especially if there's a lot of ore in the game. If they have good numbers like a 5 and a 6, those are incredible odds for you. And you've got tons of opportunities for wheat and sheep in very similar locations. So you can build 2 roads and get another settlement and it will still be beneficial to your strategy. Another great time to use this strategy is when you're playing with newbies or beginners, because a lot of times they avoid the development cards because it's kind of difficult to understand when you first play. And so you can really kick their butt just by playing with development cards. Hopefully this video was helpful for you and you'll win your next Catan game playing this strategy. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, including a big strategy video that I did on a bunch of strategies for Catan. We do gloss over this one and then also other strategies, so go ahead and check that video out. It's at my channel. And thanks again so much for watching this video. Enjoy playing Catan and beating your friends. Beating sounds violent.